Welcome to Leap In with Captain Green, a podcast brought to you by NEA. My name is Elaine, and today we are joined by Mr. Jonah Joshua Simon, who joined Ministry of Environment 47 years ago and has been with NEA ever since. He has worked in various departments in the Ministry of Environment and NEA and was involved in the cleaning up of the Singapore River as well as the Spyros Disaster in October 1978. Let's hear from him today. Hi JJ, how are you? And are you enjoying your retirement life?
Hi Elaine, yes, I am really enjoying my retirement. This is something which I never thought of, that there's going to be so much of time in your hands and not knowing what to do.
Great, that's good to know. I've got a question for you, JJ. What made you join the public service and particularly Ministry of Environment and NEA?
Okay, wow, this goes back quite far back. I came out of NS after serving my national service on the 12th of April. So it was like about 10 a.m. when I took my IC, and then straight away I went to look out for a job. And by 12 noon, I was already employed as a house detective at Metro Supreme. That's along Penang Road. And whilst working there, I applied for a job in the civil service, which was the smartest thing to do then. So as years went by, I took on challenges. Challenges is something that I love to do, to face. So that explains why I did not switch jobs. And NEA gave me the opportunities to move within to gain experience and to be what I am today.
That's great. Okay, maybe you can share with us what are some of the key moments of being in the public service?
Yeah, surely. Okay, after having joined in 75, in 78, I was chosen to attend the public health course for public health inspectors. It was linked up with the Royal Society of Health, London in 1979. Now, the requirement then was if you don't pass this course, then you will not be promoted. During the course, that's where you actually end up with a lot of public health knowledge. So it was within ENV, that's the Ministry of Environment, before NEA was formed. What comes to my mind straight was the management of the Spyros Disaster, which happened in October 1978. That was a year when I was in the Mount Vernon crematoria complex. It was the worst industrial accident on records, I understand, and this was a Greek tanker known as Spyros, which exploded at the Jurong shipyard. That night of the incident, we had a superintendent for the complex. He came over to my house and he picked me up, and suddenly he says, look, we need to go to the SGH mortuary. So he picked me up and then he went down to the mortuary, and then I saw, oh my God, it was real. It was 70 over bodies, So we took note of what needed to be done, and we went back, and next day, morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, we started receiving the victims. And we went on for 4 days, cremating all the 70 plus who died non-stop. It was also a time in my life that stood still, because even thinking of it brings tears to my eyes. It's not easy. Then I moved on to the legal department. I was appointed as ministry's prosecutor to handle the cases in the subordinate courts. And I did a quick law course in evidence at NUS to familiarize with the court proceedings. And then with the guidance of the other prosecutors, I stayed on in legal department for about 8 years. And I never lost a case. That's something which I can say very confidently. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, then from there, I moved on to the Public Affairs Department when it was first created in the ministry. Now, this is where I learned VIP protocol from MFA, as I was part of the VIP visits team to look at and manage the programs for state visits. I met many ministers from many countries who called on our Minister for the Environment, and then including ambassadors and accompanying delegations. And I had a face-to-face contact with Mr. David Marshall.
Wow.
Briefing to the ambassadors on our upgrading of public health. We had a break. What he did was David Marshall. He took a walk out, went to a corner, and took out his pipe and started smoking. Okay, so that's when I quickly went after him. I said, "Sir, you can't do that." So very quickly he answered, "Don't worry, son, I'm just testing your system." Very quick, very witting character. Okay, so that's David Marshall for you. I think it was in 1996 when I was posted out from the Public Affairs Department to the Environmental Health Department back there, because they were going to privatize the refuse collection services.
I see. In 1996, I was only 3 years old.
Wow, you've grown a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, after Public Affairs Department, I went over to help out privatization of the refuse collection services. We worked out the details for the logistics and also the corporatization of the company known as CMAC Private Limited. Then I was posted over to ESD, Engineering Services Department, looking after the incineration plants. So that sort of came under one roof, the collections and disposal services. And that's since 2001. That will be about 19 years up to 23rd of May, 2021.
Wow, you have seen the transformation of the waste collection and disposal service. Wow.
Yes. There was this program where we cleaned up the rivers. So when we cleaned up the rivers, the commemoration was done in 1987. I was part of the organizing team thereon, no? And then we had the Clean and Green Week, then which transformed into the Clean and Green Singapore. I had the opportunity here of really getting up and close with all our prime ministers, from Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, Mr. Goh Chok Tong. I looked into the security and protocol of the requirements. In between, I trained quite a number of people as liaison officers and also to manage such events.
It seems like your work is quite serious. What are some of the lighter moments, more fun moments in this 47 years?
I would say dinner and dance. Okay, dinner and dance. When I first joined service in 75, D&D was held on top of the top floor of the Merlin Hotel. That's in Beach Road. And then Minister Mr. E.W. Barker, he brought his wife to me and said, "Young man, take over this lady as a dance partner." And he just passed his wife over to me. I mean, I was dazzled and I didn't know what to do. In 2002, NEA was formed. And 2003, I remember we did our first anniversary D&D at the Mandarin Hotel's ballroom in 2003. I arranged for a 40-kilo cake in the shape of number 1, saying it's the first anniversary.
So did it mean that every year after that it was a 40 kg cake that said 2, and then the year after it said 3?
Yes, that's what I did. I did for year 1, for the second year, and the third year. But after that we stopped.
I was looking forward to a 40 kg cake that said 40. Okay. So I want to ask you something more personal. What did your family think about your work? I mean, 47 years is a long time.
My family was actually the big pillar behind me. I had many nights out for enforcement duties, but they only encouraged me more. Now, they even helped me to record evidence when I see offense while driving. Taking a video of a winning truck, and details like date, time, place, etc. They will record down on a piece of paper.
I have not worked with you before, and this is the first time we are speaking on a podcast, but I'm truly inspired as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
So thank you very much.
I'm glad I was able to create an impact, and to all those people who I have trained and have worked with, I hope that you continue to do the good job, and then of course keep the environment in mind in everything you do.
Thanks, JJ. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you, JJ, for the enriching conversation. Happy retirement, and to the person listening to this podcast, have a great day. Thank you. Bye.